This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1301, The Sensitive Child, Helping Him Reach His Potential, by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. Hello, everybody, and happy Thursday. Nice to have you back here on ORD again. I am Greg Audino, your host and narrator, excited to get into our parenting leg of the week with you. So if you are new here, one thing about us is that we cover parenting articles specifically on Thursdays and Fridays. And today's comes from Adina Soclof, who has tips for how to help your sensitive child reach their potential. So listen in for great tips and instructions on that as we begin this post now and optimize your life. The Sensitive Child, Helping Him Reach His Potential, by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. My child gets upset about everything. Her kite string breaking, her friend not being able to come over, when her oatmeal is too hot. It's exhausting. As we mentioned in our last few posts, when we discuss temperament and gain an understanding of how our children work, we can learn what triggers their bad behavior and learn to manage the feelings that overwhelm them. Knowing a child's temperament can help us engage our children's cooperation in a way that truly takes their personality, their strengths and weaknesses into account. Instead of finding their tough behavior frustrating, we can view their actions in more positive ways. We've already talked about the temperamental traits of introversion, extroversion, intensity, and persistence. Now, we get to the temperamental trait of sensitivity. Sensitivity. Sensitive children have a heightened sense of smell, hearing, taste, sight, and touch. Loud sounds, smells, bright lights, and crowds can overwhelm them. They have difficulty wearing short sleeves in the first few weeks of spring because they don't like how it feels. They're selective eaters. They may not want to go out to the playground. Most importantly, they absorb emotions easily. They're saddened by bad news. They can be extra clingy or anxious around adults who are under stress. They can easily become overstimulated, causing them to tantrum, cover their ears, and refuse to participate in activities. Many parents complain about these children. He spent the whole time at the circus buried in my shoulder. He refused to go into the party room because of the loud music. The most important thing that parents need to know is that their sensitive child is not behaving this way on purpose because they're spoiled or a crybaby or they're just trying to bother you. It's just that they're easily overstimulated, more so than other children. That's why they'll have a tantrum, cover their ears when they hear loud music, and refuse to participate in busy activities. The pluses to having a sensitive child are many. These children are sensitive, caring, tender-hearted, discerning. They're often able to read people, and as adults may become doctors, teachers, and therapists. They need help managing their feelings. We can help them by naming the sensations that overwhelm them. Smells really bother you. You feel things strongly. Noise annoys you. Sensitive kids need to possess in their vocabularies the words that help them communicate their profound emotions and sensations they experience. Teaching children vocabulary words that express their emotions and sensitivities is bound to help, i.e., sad, angry, lonesome, hot, irritated, happy, scratchy, screechy, noisy, stinky, tight, sticky. We can also teach them to recognize their warning signs and say, "This is too much for me, I need a break," or "I don't like this," instead of whining and crying. It's helpful to identify their sensitivity triggers and find ways to reduce or eliminate them. Kids can be sensitive in the following areas. 1. Sounds, tapping, noise, crowds, loud music, sirens. We can say, "Sometimes it helps to cover your ears when you hear loud noise," or "Sometimes it helps to leave the room when the crowd gets to be too much." 2. Emotions, teasing, other children crying. Teach them to stand up for themselves and ways to cheer up other children. We can say, "A hug or a chance to play with your show and tell toy can cheer another person up." 3. Sight, too much TV, poor lighting. Turn off the TV and take them outside. We can say, "Too much TV can really hurt your eyes." 4. Taste, new foods, mixing two foods together. We can have them pick their own food and serve it. 5. Touch, seams in socks, tags in clothing, playing in the sand, wool, finger painting. We can give information. When tags in your shirt bother you, it can be worn inside out. We can give choices. You can play with the water table or the sandbox. It's also helpful to problem solve with them. You don't like the smell of glue? How else could you make your Mother's Day card? Children like this are often reprimanded for being too sensitive. Instead, they need to be praised and appreciated for their temperament. You reminded Shane of the prizes she could get if she finishes her work to help cheer her up. That's called being kind. They need to be freed from the following negative roles: crybaby or sensitive, touchy or compassionate, you need to get a thick skin, or feeling strongly. It's also helpful to role model how to manage hurt feelings. Someone called me a complainer. I was really hurt, but I said to myself, that's not true. I usually don't complain. I'm going to try not to let what she said bother me. When you have a sensitive child, it's helpful to 1. Select an issue that may be linked to sensitivity. 2. Can you name it? 3. Can you eliminate it? 4. Can you reduce or make adjustments? 5. Choose the solution that meets the needs of everyone involved. If the parent is sensitive, try to get as much quiet time as you can, have one-on-one time with each child, take breaks, and wear comfortable clothing. You just listened to the post titled, The Sensitive Child, Helping Him Reach His Potential, by Adina Soclof of ParentingSimply.com. Okay, and yet another informative parenting article from Adina. Thanks to her for that. I could imagine that this article might be met with resistance by some. It's difficult when parenting to walk the line between being sensitive to the needs of our children while also teaching them resilience and empowering them to develop a thicker skin so as to be more self-sufficient as adults. And though it's tough to get this exactly right, just realize that at the crossover point, there lies the truth that emotional awareness is a great tool no matter what. That's why I love Adina's note about helping kids to name their feelings. Ideally, if you can help your children to name emotional feelings just as easily as they do physical feelings, they will have a great springboard for self-understanding. And the better they understand themselves, the easier it'll be for them as adults to ask important questions of themselves about the areas of life in which they're better suited to just accept themselves, or accept themselves, yet challenge themselves to grow. Okay, and that'll do it for another edition of ORD, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this article and took something from it, and be sure to come on back tomorrow for another parenting post where I'll be reading an article from Jen of thistimeofmine.com on how to recover after yelling at your child. That's where your optimal life awaits.